If you're new to golf, are you feeling overwhelmed with all the tips, drills, and swing thoughts out there? Look, we understand. Now, if you're a beginner and we only had one chance to coach you, here are 5 things that we'd have you focus on. We can't overlook the grip. We'd show you how to hold the club correctly, but more importantly, how you do it is crucial. So we would say build the grip with the club in the air. We see a lot of golfers struggle with holding the golf club because they're trying to build the grip down here. The problem is here, it forces the club to be too vertical in the hand. Now we actually want the club to be a little bit more diagonal across the hand, and you'll see here I've got the Me and My Golf True Grip glove, which has got some blue indicators on there that really helps us get the club in the right place. So we're going to hold the golf club on the steel here with the club face nice and vertical like this. That's what we call a square club face. You can see this is sort of roughly down towards my belt buckle. The club is in eye line. All I'm going to do here is just place my hand out and then rest the club through the middle of the forefinger here. You can see right through that blue channel to the base of the little finger. Now from here, I'm just going to then close my hand around, wrap it around so my thumb is ever so slightly to the right-hand side of the grip there. Now here's the good thing about the glove here. I can see both blue knuckles, both 2 knuckles here on the left, and this blue V here is over towards my right shoulder. Now this now is built around a great club face, but now my hand is in a really good place that I can use this in a good way. Often one checkpoint that we use is if it's in a good place, you should be able to hold the golf club in that finger and it's being supported underneath the heel or the fleshy part of the hand. That's a great checkpoint to see if you've got it in the right place. I'm gonna go back into the same place, eye line with this, belt buckle with the grip. Right hand is if I'm shaking hands, place it across the middle of the forefinger, base of the little finger, close the hand so the thumb is on top. And now my right thumb is over to the left, and I can see that the V between my thumb and forefinger is somewhere towards my right shoulder. Now, as far as joining them together, this is what we call a baseball grip. The fingers are all just sort of touching like this. There are other options where you can do an overlap or an interlock, but for now we're happy to just start with what we call a baseball grip. Don't overcomplicate things for now. Let's just get the hands nice and close together. So just placing the hands in this place is going to give you a massive head start of not only controlling the direction of your shots, because it really helps the club face, but also using the wrists in a good way to create some power in the golf swing. So the second thing that we would do, we'd show you how to pivot the body in a really, really simple way, because how we move the body in the golf swing is going to shape how the club moves, but also it's really going to help us when it comes to striking the golf ball. We've got a very simple concept that you can just have in your mind with this, and that is turn, shift, turn. So I'm going to stand in my golf stance, little bend forward, little flex in the legs, cross my arms across the shoulders here. Because golf is a rotational sport, we want to have a turn in the backswing. You can see here I'm turning the chest, I'm turning the hips. There's no lateral movement away. So there's a rotation. Now in the downswing there's a shift. So I'm moving towards the target. And then there's a rotation, and you'll see now I'm facing the target and I'm all the way up onto this toe. So turn, shift, turn. All the weight is on this front leg and my hips and chest now are facing the target. And we would have you doing this without even hitting a golf shot. You can do this at home, you can do this on the driving range, just training how this body actually moves in the golf swing. It's going to make a huge difference. So what that looks like now with a club in my hand, obviously got a great grip here, a turn, a shift, and then a turn. So again, I'm facing the target, hips and chest are looking that way, and I've released this toe. This is a really important part. I've released the foot, so I'm all the way onto this left leg there. So let me hit a soft shot here, and I'm just going to focus on that turn, shift, and then turn. And that's what it looks like in full motion. And you can start to progress that as you get more and more comfortable with it. You can break it down to start with, turn, shift, turn, and then you can blend it into a nice fluid motion. The third thing we get you to focus on with an iron shot here is actually making sure you hit the ground. Now, a lot of the lessons and coaching we've done in the past, we'd often ask students, if the golf ball is here, where should we actually strike the ground? Because we do want to hit the ground, and a lot of golfers will think that we need to strike the ground before the golf ball. In fact, to help us hit the golf ball really well, we want to hit the ground past the golf ball. It sounds quite strange, but we're looking to actually strike the ball first and then hit the ground past the golf ball. You'll see a lot of the best players in the world, they'll hit the golf ball and then they'll take what we call a divot, where a chunk of turf will actually happen after the golf ball. So something very simple that you can do if you're on a driving range, Matt, or if you're lucky enough to practice on grass, is take your setup to the side of the golf ball and actually make practice swings where you're trying to hit the ground past the golf ball. So if you're on a mat, you'll know and you'll see where you're striking the ground. So you can still involve the turn, shift, turn, but you're looking to actually hit the ground past where the ball is. You can see here I'm taking a little bit of turf. Here's where the golf ball is. I'm hitting the ground past the golf ball. This is exactly what we're looking to do. If you're striking the ground here, it's going to lead to some inconsistent strikes, and that's not going to serve you very well on the golf course. Again, that was a really nice strike. You can see I've hit the ground. This is where the ball was, but this is where I've hit the ground. It's a great way for you to focus and really help you make consistent contact. Now, if this is helpful and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, release multiple videos a week to help you with your game. Now, the fourth tip, get one of these, table tennis bat. This is really just to paint more of a picture and an idea of what actually happens with the club face in the golf swing. I've coached now for over 20 years and seen a lot of different mistakes. So if you can start doing this well from the beginning, it's going to make a huge difference. Imagine that the red is the club face. The club face is responsible for where your ball starts. So we need some awareness. Now, what we want to see, the club face at the setup is pointing towards my target. You'll see from face on here, as I swing back, there's an opening of that face, so you can see the red now. And as I swing back down, there is a closing of the face, so it returns back to what we call square, pointing at the target. And then there's a closing on the way through, so you can see the black. A lot of golfers make the mistake of trying to keep the face pointing at the target back and through, and this does a couple of things. You'll lose consistency in your direction, but it also stops the body moving in this turning motion that we want. So just having an understanding of that as we swing back, it's almost like we're shaking hands with somebody on the right, opening the club face, and then we're shaking hands with somebody on the left. If I go into my setup here now, we'll see that as I swing back, we can see the red, and as I swing through, we can see the black. And you'll notice that this club face in the golf swing is doing this sort of motion, opening, coming back to square, and then closing on the way through. So just having that concept in my mind now helps me produce a better motion. And the fifth and final tip is, if you want to really get good at golf, follow a plan. There is so much information available on YouTube, which is great, but if you bounce around from tip to tip from multiple different coaches, you're going to get lost and confused. So if you really want to accelerate your learning and get yourself to the golf course faster, follow a plan. And we have 3 courses. We've got how to play level 1, 2, and 3, which is our basically beginner to golf course in 2 months program. And if you follow this simple plan, we will guide you from the basics all the way to how to really manage your first game of golf, from some of the short game and the putting side of things as well. So don't get confused and spend loads of time just watching different tips. Make sure you have a plan, and I guarantee you'll not only have more fun, but you'll get to the golf course much faster as well. Now, if you want to access that plan, check out the link in the description. You can check it out for free, and we hope to see you again soon.